And music.
Okay, let's talk about addiction, the word addiction. You know, we hear about that a lot, and, you know, I've thought a lot about it. And here it basically is. You know, the first minute you hear the word addiction, you think about, you know, people that are addicted to drugs or alcohol. So what's the purpose of addiction? Addiction's really about when someone feels pain, okay? So where do? They go to a comfort place, and the comfort place is where you don't feel suffering. So addiction can be anything where you're going to a place to alter your state so that you don't feel pain and that you feel comfort. Okay, so what are some of the things that people use? You know, a lot of people use alcohol, obviously. I mean, that's a very popular chemical that we use to feel comfort. Drugs, you know, is another one. Watching TV, Netflix, video games, looking at your phone. What are some other things that people use for addiction? Eating, yeah, that creates comfort as well. All right, so just understanding what they are and how much time you spend in that place, okay? So the question to ask yourself is, what is the thought that you're having that's creating this feeling of discomfort? What is it that you're thinking or you're feeling or you're doing that's causing you to run to that space of addiction? And just sit with that. So it could be anything. You could sit there and say to yourself, like, I'm a loser, I have no friends, I'm fat, or, you know, whatever it is. So just sit with that for a minute and ask yourself, is that true? You know, is it true that I have no friends? And usually, honestly, it's not true. Usually you could think of several people that are your friends, or you could make friends with somebody. Let's say it is true. Let's say I'm fat. So the power in that is like, okay, so what can I do? What can I do about it? You know, can I start, you know, learning about it and working on it so that I can become what I want to be, you know? And so you can start going towards the things that you want to achieve or that you don't like about yourself, and you can start working on those things instead of going to the addiction, because the addiction is just a prolonged state of hiding those things that you're uncomfortable about. Better to look at the things that you're feeling uncomfortable about and seeing that you do have power to change those things and work on those things. If you feel like you don't have power to work on those things or change those things, that is not true. It's a lie. And, you know, this is the cause of so many people going into these deep places of depression, anxiety, and addiction, because they have told themselves so many times that there's nothing they can do about it. But I am here to tell you 100% that is not true. You can work on these things. There is a way out. And the first thing that I would do is to change your physiology. And what do I mean by that? Get out of the place that you're in right now, and move and go to another place, go to another venue, go outside, go work out, go do something or go listen to music that makes you feel better. Do something, go listen to a comedy video, whatever it is. Move yourself physiologically to get yourself in an altered state. Then you can start working on those things that you want to work on, and start realizing that you no longer have to have this addiction to tamp down, clamp down, suppress, repress the feelings that you feel of fear and anxiety, because those things are wrong. They're not true. Whatever you're feeling fear about is simply just not true, okay? And understanding that and realizing that first, 100% they're not true. And anything that you can work on, and you know that you can work on, that's truth, and you have power there. So addiction is about covering up feelings that you're feeling that you're uncomfortable with, okay? And the more that you work through those places of discomfort, the more personal power you have and the stronger you will feel inside of you. It takes a while when you're young because, you know, there's always a first time that you do something and it's scary. And as you get older, you will recognize, I've gone through this before, I can do this, okay? And just the very first time you're doing it, understand you will get through it. Nothing is permanent ever in life. It is not permanent. Things shift all the time. Wait for the shift and work through the shift to get yourself to the other side. And that's what I would recommend about addictions. By the way, everybody has a place that they go to. Everybody has something that they're using as an addiction. Try to shift your addictions to something that is, and I wouldn't even use the word addiction anymore, but it would be something that you use to get yourself out of these states. Something, for me, it's yoga, okay? Or exercise, or being outside, or listening to music. If I'm angry, I listen to angry music. If I'm sad, I definitely do not listen to sad music. If I'm going through a breakup, I definitely do not listen to romantic songs about breakups. Do not do that. Do things that empower you, and then work on the things that you want to work on. Everything's impermanent. You are good enough. There's no one else like you know, on the planet. Love yourself first, work on loving yourself, and then you will see that reflected in the external world. Okay, let me talk about this a little bit more about like the addiction space, going back to past relationships that were bad relationships, dysfunctional relationship, codependent relationship with people that are either abusive or neglectful. Let me talk about that. So there's a thing about union up and union down. Okay, so it's very white or black. Union up is, well, let's talk about union down first. Union down is anything in the addiction space. Union down is getting drunk, having sex with somebody that it's just about sex. It's like union down, okay? There's an energy exchange there, but it's kind of in the realm of darkness, you know what I mean? Like getting really fucked up and all that kind of stuff. That's union down stuff. As humans, everybody has played in both worlds, union up and union down. In the beginning, especially if you're somebody who came from a very, let's say, a challenging, you know, background, we have a lot of propensity to want to go into union down space. And it's an addiction space, and it feels good when you're in it, and it's like this little closed off world. So union up looks like something that empowers you when you're doing it. You know, it's like bettering you. It feels light. It feels progressive. You know, think about some of those activities or those people that you're with that's union up space. Like you're in a healthy relationship finally. That's union up, right? But then we kind of want to look back to the dark side, right? But let me tell you, those two worlds do not mesh. They do not coexist. You're either in one or the other. You can't be fully in the light if you have any tether, any connection, any cording to the union down space. So you have to choose. Are you gonna go to the light? I mean, I always think about, you know, Darth Vader, Star Wars, all these movies, you know, even The Matrix and all of them, they talk about these things. Are you going to go to the light and fully get energized and always seek the light? Are you going to visit the dark world, you know, drugs, alcohol, sexual unions that are not in the light, things that are self-harming, you know, all those spaces, you know? So they don't coexist together. The long game is union up. That's the long game. And that's the stuff that will elevate you faster. You can have more purity of thought. You can start creating from that space. You don't create from union down. It's a stagnant place. It's a stuck space. So go to the light, go to union up. That's it.